Hi everyone, I'm Kristin Herzog, a professional abstract painter living in Florida where, as you might expect, we have an endless supply of inspiration for a fine artist. Recently, Jerry's Artorama asked me to be an ambassador for Charvin extra fine acrylics. Being an ambassador sounds very posh, though I don't think I'll be getting a formal uniform or even one of those cool sashes. At least, they haven't mentioned it yet. But as some of you know, 3 of my paintings are already in an embassy, so it seems fitting that I get to be an ambassador now too. Charvin colors are made in France, where they have long been a highly respected brand. Here in the US, we already have an ambassador to France last time I checked, so I'll likely have to wait a while to move up that ladder. In the meantime, I'm to be a sort of ambassador in place, which works out well because we aren't supposed to travel right now anyway. And it's beautiful where I live. My mission, which I have accepted, is to stay in my studio and paint. And Charvin has sent me a lovely big box of gorgeous colors to do exactly that. Come to think of it, I'd probably just get paint on fancy ambassador duds anyway, which Charvin has probably already thought of. So this is a no-brainer. I'm always in my studio painting, and I've been in love with Charvin acrylic colors for several years now. I love that their paints are rich and creamy with a very dense pigment load. We artists get excited about things like that, ambassador or not. Now, let's get started. This month, I've chosen to try out these 5 blues. All are new to me, and I can't wait to experiment. I always want to learn a little about any new color in advance so I can make good choices as I paint. As a primarily abstract painter, I tend to experiment a lot. At first glance, 4 of these colors look to be pretty much identical, so there must be some differences here that we can't see yet. These little experiments will be kind of like wine tasting, but without the wine, though come to think of it, having a glass of wine as I paint is not at all a bad idea. Maybe I can ask Charvin for some French wine suggestions. First, it doesn't hurt to take another quick look at the Charvin label. The top band is the exact color that is inside the tube, and below you will see the name of the color, and then there is one more important bit that you should note. See that little box to the left of the color name? That is a transparency indicator. If you haven't paid much attention to the transparency of your paints, you really do want to start. It will make a huge difference in your painting. With Charvin, a solid black box is an opaque color. Use opaques for coverage, backgrounds, and fixing stuff the morning after, when you wake up and realize, oh dear, I've made a dreadful mistake. If the box is an open square, it's a transparent color. Great for glazing or toning other colors when you paint over them. These will add subtle changes, but they will not easily cover up on their own. And a box that is half and half, like on marine blue, indicates semi-transparent, or semi-opaque, I guess, depending on your outlook on life. You can glaze with these too, but you'll also push whatever is below it farther back. The label has a little more information underneath the color name about the makeup of this color, which can also occasionally be useful, but we don't need it right now. I should probably say more about texture here too, since almost everything I paint is heavily textured. One of my favorite things to do with a blank canvas is to first prep it with bits and blobs of gesso and/or one of the many textured gels or mediums out there. I rarely have a plan. I make marks with a gesso, score it, mush it around here and there, just enough to make an uneven, interesting surface. I don't try to cover the whole canvas. We'll let this dry overnight. Most of my finished paintings have plenty of texture, and this is a fast way to get it. Check back with me soon, and we'll get going with the ultra-seductive Charvin French Blue. If you think of it, bring some wine. Thank you for visiting. I'm Kristin Herzog, abstract painter at www.kherzogart.com.